Welcome back, my fellow agents. It is I, X7, your master of musical mayhem, and also the host of Zenorama, the podcast of heroes and monsters. A couple of notes here right before we get into everything, because it is Friday, and that means we've got 7 songs to listen to. Some pretty great ones here today. But a couple of notes. The new logo is about ready to be debuted, probably tomorrow. And I made a slight mistake when I was talking about Betsy, who does the or does the I don't know reactions to Tom Lehrer songs, novelty songs that are a little questionable. It's honest to Betsy, not heavens to Betsy. So my humblest apologies. So let's listen to this first song, which is from 1981, and it's a sequel to a very popular both a stage play and movie, but it was a big old flop in 1981.
With a suburban garage sound, let's hear it for Oscar Drill and the Bits.
So it is from Shock Treatment, the 1981 semi-sequel to 1975's Rocky Horror Picture Show, starring Brad and Janet. I think that's Janet there. And obviously you can see there are Riff Raff and his sister, who are doctors in this one, and that's one of the people from the movie. A lot of people from the movie and stage play, or original stage play, were in the film. Both Susan Sarandon and the original Brad, and I'm drawing a blank. Brad were not in it, as well as, and then Frank, of course, did not, because he didn't want to do it. He one and done, which is the film's biggest flaw, is that they don't really have someone who has that magnetic personality like Frank does. But let's listen a little more to the song. The song itself is called "Breaking Out," and it's the whole movie revolves around being on a television show in Denton, USA. It was supposed to be filmed in actual Denton, Texas, home of the wrestling Von Erichs originally. Now, the only one left, Kevin, is in um, Hawaii, although his boys might still live around there. Also, and I think he's got some relatives. But it's the soundtrack is great. I mean, it's got good songs. And the movie's pretty funny all over. I'd like to watch it again. It suffers in comparison, obviously, to Rocky Horror, because really, yeah, it's just not going to be Rocky Horror. Shouldn't have been marketed as such. It should have just been Surprise. I mean, yeah, from the creators would have been fine. That's okay. It's a lot of music before we get to the various. I'd like to go get to the various to the chorus, but I don't know if we're going to make it there. I really can't play that too much together because we'll have to trim it out. So at the end of the episode, before we sign off, I will go over the 7 songs in case YouTube says I have to remove some of it. And it did last week. All right. Okay. We're not going to get to the chorus. Breaking Out by Drill and the Bits or some such. So before we get much further in there, please like, share, subscribe. You can vote in the poll today, at least on Spotify. There won't really be one on. I guess there are polls on YouTube. I could put one out. Like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment. Sharing and subscribing, and leave a comment. And hit the notification bell. Be wonderful. So cheers to you all. Slancha. And our next song is from the Motels, making their debut. This is a song called Kicks from their debut album from 1979. It was called The Motels by The Motels. So the Motels gained their biggest fame in the 80s from All for One, which I think is what we're going to see. Yeah, that's the All for One, which had the big hits Take the L and Only the Lonely. Martha, I did not care for them much at first, but I've definitely become a bigger fan. I got their, um, I got the soundtrack to them. Soundtrack. I got the greatest hits, and that's what this is from. So we will be hearing more Motels in the future, but it's there they are. I think that's the back cover, maybe. Hard to tell. Let's listen to a little more of the song. It's only two. Uh, it's not even. It's barely 2 minutes long, so you gotta love that. Downtown, all the big cars, fancy for ride. Downtown, maybe he's so smooth, he's really smart. Downtown, all the young girls who are broken hearts. Now he goes to the store to buy some more kicks. The name of the song is Kicks. Not kicks for kids or kicks for rabbits or tricks for rabbits or kicks for trids. I could go on, but I won't. There's Martha there singing away. She's still performing as Martha and the Motels. I don't know how many of the other original Motels are around. I remember seeing a VH1 story about them at some point. Not a behind the, maybe a getting the band back together. I don't know. Yeah, what the hell are you going to do with those kids today, Martha? But I'm glad I came around to them. I've done that with several bands that I didn't care for as much in the past when they were. I mean, you couldn't get away from Take the L or Only the Lonely for a while, but now you don't hear enough of them, and I like them a lot more, and I appreciate just the way they sound because she has a unique voice, and it's you played her I think she played the Telecaster on that thing. Off the top of my head, I'm not 100% sure anymore. Yeah, solo career, first incarnation. They've been around for a minute. All right. And now this next song is very, you'll know it when you hear it. It's by Janis Joplin and the Holding Company. It's Piece of My Heart, which I mistakenly thought was Take Another Piece of My Heart, but it's just Piece of My Heart. It is a remake, but here we go. Let's listen. So that's the opening there. You all know it. I mean, it's one of her major songs. And there's the band themselves with Janis. She was not a With I Found Somebody off his first studio LP from 1982. We're going to skip ahead a bit. This was after they broke up. The Eagles. I don't know if they even officially ever really broke up, but Glenn was very had an ear for popular music, and he had a this one, I Found Somebody, and The One That You Love, and it was a gold LP. And then he later on made a bunch of other stuff, then got back together with the Eagles. I think I don't know. I have the soundtrack. Not all the songs are great on it, but they're plenty passable. Party Time's a fun one. I just turned my back on a sad love affair. Was trying to leave it all behind. That's when I met you. I just couldn't say no. One look in your eyes, and I said, "Here I go." So this came out. I don't remember. It was a hit. So off the top of my head, or let's see if Wikipedia has. I Found Somebody's his first was the first one. It doesn't even say whether how high it got on the charts. Didn't even have a clickable link. All the songs were written by Glenn Frey and Jack Tempchin, except for I Volunteer. Oh, there's several of them. Yeah, Sea Cruise is a much older song, but I saw James Taylor perform it at Red Rocks. I still can't believe that Glenn Frey has passed away, and it's been several years now. Let me look here. When did he pass away? 2016, 8 years ago. Almost 9 years ago. Wow. That's just, it makes me sad, I must say. Let's listen to the chorus. Super catchy. One of my acquaintances, well, he'd been a friend and he turned into an acquaintance because he's a dipstick at that time, as teenagers will happen when you're trying to impress a different group of kids that weren't, that thought they were superior. Pop Tarts and Perrier, I must say. Sounded so 70s, and it was just the most condescending way he said it. It was just like something I've remembered, and friends of mine, including Agent DA, who's probably will never live it down, or let him live it down. But so there's our what number song is that? That was number 4. We're already at number 4. So 5, one of my favorites. We are going to skip right ahead to the good part, because there's all this squeakiness in the beginning. I wrote down. This is Shakespeare's Sister. If this world is where you think, and you're thinking of escape. Very much inspired by Catwoman from the Moon, which is, even I found that one very difficult to get through. Written by Siobhan Fahey, Marcella Detroit, and Dave Stewart of the Eurythmics. Inspired by Catwoman with the Moon. So, oh my gosh. Lilith is the one who brought this song to my attention. And if you think that I wasn't going to use pictures like this, well, you've got another thing coming. I don't have any Judas Priest in my collection. So if anyone wants to send me some, let me know. Okay, we got to go about 1 minute 50 in. No, here we go. Come on, because Marcella squeaks around for a while. Here we go. You'd better hope and pray that you make it safe back to your own world. You'd better hope and pray that you'll wake one day in your own world. So that's Siobhan. She's one you see here. This is Marcella and this is Siobhan. Heavily made up. Neither of them really look like that in real life, but who does? This song is from 1992, and it was a big hit. They said it was a smash hit. Siobhan used to be in Bananarama. I am not sure what if Marcella was Marcella Levy and Marcella Detroit. She is from America. Siobhan is from probably from Ireland with that name. She worked with or Marcella worked with Bob Seger, hence the Detroit. Yeah, and Siobhan is Irish. So okay, I hope that's been long enough break there for YouTube. This was a video sent to me once because Lilith is evil, which should surprise absolutely no one. You'll have to listen all the way through, at least to song number 5, Lilith. Cause when you sleep at night, they don't hear your cries in your own world. Only time will tell if you can break the spell back in your own world. All right, so there's a picture of them as they most recently were. I think they've had on and off again. They broke up. The song kind of apparently caused some friction because Siobhan was sang the bridge while Marcella sang the rest of it. So you never know. I mean, egos are egos. But be that as it may, it's a great song, and oh boy, Siobhan. The less I say about that is probably the better. All right, let's get over here to song number 6 from one of my favorite bands that I wish I'd have been paying attention to more back in 2000, but I was not. And this is from the Epoxies from Stop the Future. I think I know you, so glad to meet you. Funny to see, I want to spit right in your face. You think you're sex, oh, wet and breasty. I know you're nothing when the guilt drips off your face. So obviously, this is called This Day. There's the Epoxies there. I still love them. I would have given anything to have seen them back in the day, and when they're still around. We have discussed them. I say this all the time. Portland area, yes, that would be why they play up there. Roxy is their lead singer, and they're just great. Let's see, FM Static, Viz Spectrum, Roxy Epoxy, Shock Diode, and Ray Cathode. I don't think any of those are their real names, but they're cool names. One of these days when I write a story, we're going to have some kind of homage to the Epoxies as a superhero rock group. I could do that. I will be pondering that a little more in the future. There's the great cover for the Stop the Future album. Here's a little more of the song. I want to fight and fucking bury them alive. I am none. I've been the good girl. Someday I'll kill the past and make it alive. And if I am smart, I'll never hear from you. Today, I'm better alone this week. I'm on my own this month. I'm thinking that Roxy, or the singer of the song, got jilted. So, just by the way she's, this day I'm better alone. So obviously she's annoyed at somebody. I don't know that I'd want to be part of that person. All right. So we're down to song number 7 here, which is from another one of my... Is it still playing? No. Okay, another one of my favorite bands. And there's the LP for it. 1981. So this was a B-side. I'm relatively sure because I couldn't find anything on it. It is the Stray Cats singing "You Can't Hurry Love," one of the many, many covers of this song. Get to it, Brian. I need love to ease my mind. I need to find someone to call mine. Well, my mama said. we know what your mama said. Obviously, the Stray Cats are one of my favorite bands because not just because Brian's got a Gretsch there, but he's really a great guitarist. And they're a tight band. I like to see them. I think they were touring and going to be here near Fossil Bed, but chances are I won't because tickets these days for anything are ridiculous. So again, this is a B side, I believe, for Rock This Town. I couldn't really; it's not listed on in the discography. I got this off of the Built for Speed. I think no, you can't. Runaway Boys, a retrospective '81 through '92. They still get back together and perform whenever they feel like it. Obviously, You Can't Hurry Love is it's a copy, a cover version. The Supremes were the original ones that did it, and some guy from Genesis did it as well. You can't hurry, love. No, you just have to wait. Love don't come easy. It's a game of give and take. Oddly enough, this wasn't the first '80s version that I heard. There's in the movie Times Square, which I probably should have. I mean, you all know about the Stray Cats, right? There's three members: Slim Jim Phantom, Brian Seltzer, at Setzer. No, I'm pretty sure it's Seltzer, and Lee Rocker are the band members. What did I just say? Oh, Times Square. We're gonna look that movie up real fast. There we go. See if that'll pull it up. No, 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 no. Disambiguation. We'll have to go there. Oh, come on. Other uses. 1980. Let's see if I can find the soundtrack and who did it. Soundtrack. Track listing. Help me. It's a great soundtrack. The movie is sadly You Can't Hurry Love by D.L. Byron. So Jimmy Iovine produced it. I really would like to get this again. It's and listen to it all. It was hard because you had to flip two discs, LPs, if you will. But I digress. You Can't Hurry Love, a big, huge old hit, their second single from their studio album, The Supremes A Go Go. I like The Supremes just fine, but I much prefer the Stray Cats. Look at how young they were. Boy, young and skinny. All right. Well, that's all 7 songs. And to recap here, just in case any of them are missed when this does get uploaded to YouTube, the first one was Breaking Out from the Shock Treatment soundtrack from 1981. Kicks by the Motels from their first LP in 1979. Piece of My Heart from Janis Joplin, or a holding company featuring Janis Joplin from 1968. I Found Somebody by Glenn Frey, 1982 from No Fun Allowed, his debut solo LP. Stay by Shakespeare's Sister, which is from 1992, and I didn't write down what LP that came from, so This Day by the Epoxies from Stop the Future in 2005. And You Can't Hurry Love, a B-side to probably Rock This Town or Stray Cat Strut from 1981, as we saw. So, my fellow agents, this is X7. And until our next assignment, keep rocking and I'll keep rolling. Stole that from Footprints on the Moon. See ya.